What's up, everybody? Craig here to do a thread response to Dwayne Laz's VBH thread, and also a kind of response to his bargain bin top 10. Don't know if he was starting that as a thread, but I took it as that. I know LJ and Zach have both done responses to that so far, so I wanted to throw my 2 cents in. Hope everybody's good. What's playing in the background? One of my favorite albums of all time, easy. So this one's for you, Dwayne. Kings of the Wild Frontier by Maneater. This is a classic. Oh my god. Dog Eat Dog, Ant Music, Press Darlings, Feed Me to the Lions, Ants Invasion, Physical, which if you're a Nine Inch Nails fan, and you already have, but if you're an Adam and the Ants fan, check out the cover of Physical by Nine Inch Nails. Killer. It was even better when I saw it live, so that was even better, because that was when I just got into this album, and I went and saw Nine Inch Nails, and they played Physical. Ooh, yeah. Fuck yeah, dude. Alright, so let's get into this. First response to the VBH. My vinyl buying habits have really varied since I started collecting. I mean, I started collecting at a really early age, but when I started really buying, it was when I was in my early to mid-teens. There was only really like one, it was a store chain, and there was two locations I used to go to, and I mean, in my early to mid-teens, I really didn't have a lot of money, so, and your options of really buying stuff was kind of limited. There wasn't any like bargain bins really at that point, and I mean, what they had was kind of what they had, and prices were fairly cheaper because it like wasn't a hot commodity to buy vinyl at the time, you know. So I mean, your options of being able to A/B buying vinyl wasn't that great. So like if I found something at the store, I would pretty much just readily pick it up no matter what the price or condition, because, you know, eBay, I used eBay, but I didn't use it to buy a lot of vinyl at that point, and I didn't really research a whole bunch, and plus there wasn't a lot of places in town, and my ability to get to a bigger city like a Chicago or Indianapolis or Detroit, Grand Rapids, where those are the places that are closest to where I live, that really wasn't an option. So I kind of bought whatever, but I didn't buy a lot in bulk. You know, I was happy to find, if I found 8 to 10 titles and got a really good deal on stuff, you know, that was cool. So my collection really didn't grow all that much when I was younger. It wasn't until a few more like used type of places, you know, used media stores kind of open in my area. Like, I don't have an actual like legitimate, just strictly record store around me. You know, they're used media places, and I've got 3 different places that I usually hit up. One's an actual like record store type of deal, but I've ceased to go there, and that was my original place of buying vinyl and stuff like that back in the day. They really, once competition came into town, they really kind of paled in comparison, and the quality, quantity, and the deals that they have there are pretty shitty. In terms of, obviously you guys can tell I buy in bulk. Like, when the option's there, excuse me, I will take it. And that has basically been because of the store I mainly shop at. And that, you know, I've built that relationship with them so where I can buy a lot more, and they will, you know, obviously make a really good deal, make it worth my while. But also the quality of stuff that's coming, they really take, whether it's a high-end album or whether it's something you see all the time, they make sure they got a good quality product, and if they're going to put it out and it's not that great, they're going to throw it right in the bargain bin. And for me, you know, even their crappy quality is still actually really good to me, because that's still at least a very good. I'm not going to buy a real poor condition album. There's a few here and there that I have that I've either gotten for literally for free, or only paid no more than $1 for, and it wasn't that big of a deal. I'm like, okay, it's filler until I get whatever. If I can at least listen to a few of the songs that I actually want to hear off of it, and that's cool. It'll end up making great wall art. So it's no big deal. Getting back to, I know I'm kind of jumping all over the board, buying in bulk. I really didn't start doing that until about 5 years ago, when I went to a record store down in Florida and basically bought about 160 pieces for about maybe like $80 or so, something like that. And that's what really kind of started my downward spiral into, I have to buy a large quantity anytime I buy. Doesn't mean, I don't come walking out of the store on some days and only have 5 things. That's fine. That's no big deal. But it made me really want to buy a lot more in bulk. If I can get the option of getting a really, really good deal. It taught me about, if I have the ability to get a really big haul, do it and get a good deal on it. So that's kind of how I do. Basically when I go out and buy nowadays, I pretty much rummage through the bargain bin first things first, and then see what I can buy from there. And I give myself a rough budget to work with, and I really try not to jump out of my skin and buy something, for $50-$60. If I see it and I have to have it, I still want to work within my dollar limit, which leads me to eBay. I've been eBaying for years, but I'll only buy if it's a really good deal, and if I, really want it and I'm gonna take care of it. If I really wanted everything that I saw, I just go click buy, but then you run into that trouble of, hey, I just spent $100 on like 3 albums. Do I really want to copy it tonight's the night? Of course I do, but I don't want to spend almost $60 for it. It can get really ridiculous. Sometimes you get really lucky. That Dylan album I showed in my last update, got really lucky. A late 60s pressing in, practically near mint condition with shipping less than $10. Yeah, that's a really, really good deal. But other stuff, I've fought tooth and nail for and still haven't gotten. It's a sign. One day you will have it in your collection and you will get it at the right price. It may not be mint, but you're still gonna get it. I don't know. I won't do the sniping and all that other crap. I like the hunt. I do agree with what a few people have said about eBay. Like, it turns into a crate dig. If you find that guy who's selling, more than a handful of albums, all of a sudden he's selling 1, 2, 500 albums, and you're just clicking away and you're digging through what he's got, just happens to be on your computer instead of, in a dusty corner somewhere, So it's cool, I love eBaying, but I just get really caught up in it sometimes and either end up spending a little bit more than I want to, or I get my heart kind of wrapped into it and watch it till the very last second and then lose and get really disappointed. So you overhype yourself. Have gotten really lucky though in a few pieces, like I've said, and I've got one coming that'll be in my next update that I never thought I'd get for this good of a deal. Still spend a little bit more than I normally do on, one individual piece, but for what it is, for how long I've been wanting it, and its condition, and hopefully it comes in the condition I read, because obviously you could tell how pissed off I was about my copy of London Calling. But hey, Fingers crossed this one's going to be a good one. Alright, so getting on to my bargain pieces that I wanted to show. These are just ones. Some of them are just artists and that I see a buttload of, and I just kind of pick through and just grabbed a random 10 that I know I see a lot of. Obviously, you guys know I'm a bargain shopper, and I love the bargain bins. Yeah, I know you're not going to find Stones, Beatles, Dylan, Pink Floyd in the dollar bin, but hey, you know what? You're going to find a lot of other really, really cool shit in the bargain bin. You know, I've found a lot of stuff. You know, I've got like, you know, a little over 1,200 pieces in my collection, and I can definitely say a good chunk has come from the bargain bin. Some of those are some really, really killer albums that are just classics that I got a really good deal on, got lucky, or other ones are your common mainstream albums that, you know, you see every day, like what I'm going to show. So, let's get right on to it here. Alright, first one's first. I see this album a lot in the bargain bins, and it is definitely a classic. Running on Empty by Jackson Browne. I've got this on vinyl and CD. I love this album, and I love Jackson Browne. Definitely a great songwriter, and whether he's in a complete band setup or playing acoustic, which I actually saw him acoustic about 8 years ago, 9 years ago, something like that. And he was just awesome stuff. Alright, this artist, I see a shit ton of his albums, and I hear an ungodly amount of his music on AOR radio. It makes me want to basically hurl, and gotten me to the point where I'm not a fan at all, but yet I own like 5 or 6 of his albums. Ask me why, I have no clue. But Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band, Live Bullet. I picked this one. It's probably one of my favorites out of the bunch. Just a classic. You know, I really can't pick one. I actually have this on 8-track too. Obviously, one that would be a big one on here would be Turn the Page, which is actually really cool, and I was introduced to that song via Metallica. I'm sure like a lot of people who are my age are not familiar with Bob Seger. You know, if you're not bombarded by his music all the time, you would actually like Bob Seger. You know, Bob Seger's really cool, and you know, no disrespect, I love the man's music. They're really talented, you know, and just good, you know, classic rock and stuff like that. So, I think if I stopped having to hear the radio all the time, maybe I would, you know, pick it up and actually spin it occasionally, but it's a rarity. I have about a handful of favorite songs. I take it back. I do have one favorite Bob Seger album, and that would be his second live album, 9 Tonight. I have that on CD, and I spin that a lot. I actually really do like that. So I need to find that on vinyl. And then there will be one Bob Seger that I will spin. Alright, next artist I'm a huge fan of. I've actually seen him live. And this album, I actually see all of his albums, pretty much bargain bin shopping. But No Control by Eddie Money. This one is just this is a kick-ass album. You know, I'd pay $30 for this album if I had to. This is so good. Shakin', Running, the whole side one. Shakin', Running Away, Think I'm in Love, Hard Life, No Control. Oh shit, yeah. Take a Little Bit, Keep My Motor Running. This whole album, just check it out. And give this album a little bit of credibility. It's produced by Tom Dowd, who, for all of you Cream fans out there, Tom Dowd helped produce, you know, that stuff, along with Felix Pappalardi. But Tom Dowd, great producer. Eddie Money, great singer for his time and stuff like that. You know, just an immense talent who I think is definitely underrated on some levels, but also like for every good album that he put out, there's an album that came after it that was just not so good. You know, the album after this, you know, Where's the Party? But then his next album after that, Can't Hold Back. Yeah, there we go. You know, a little Take Me Home Tonight. You know, I Want to Go Back. That was a good one. So, Eddie Money. Alright, Laugh All You Want. I love this next set of artists, and this is an album that I grew up on. H2O by Hall & Oates. This is just, good pop music. Pop music at its best, as far as I'm concerned. Maneater, One on One, Family Man, Crime Pays. I grew up with this. I've got it on cassette and in the CD. Mainly my mom played it to death, and it's one of those albums that we listen to a lot on family vacations and car rides and stuff. So it's a classic, and definitely one. Any Hall & Oates you can find, pick it up, man. Shit, I may be a huge metal fan, but you know what? I'm not afraid to pull out the Hall & Oates. Who gives a shit? Alright, another artist that I see a lot of in the bargain bin, and this album in particular a lot, J. Giles Band, Freeze Frame. This album's another one I grew up on. Just a classic, killer album. Good early 80s, rock, pop type of stuff. Really their foray into their breakthrough, big time breakthrough into the mainstream. They've been around since the late 60s, and throughout the 70s they were much more of a blues rock type of band, boogie type of music. But this album really was like, their big pop hit. Obviously Centerfold, Freeze Frame, Flamethrower, Angel in Blue. This is a kick-ass album. Pick it up. Alright, another artist that you see a lot of, Foghat. It's Fool for the City. Don't have to talk too much about Foghat. Just good boogie, hard rock, 70s stuff. Fool for the City, Slow Ride. We all know what Foghat's about. Another really classic album, Bad Company's self-titled album. This one, you might as well put on some of these albums and you're running your own classic rock radio station. Can't Get Enough, Rocksteady, Ready for Love, Bad Company, Moving On. This is a classic, and come on, Paul Rodgers, such an amazing vocalist for his time. Still is a great vocalist, Very, very cool. Oh man, this one let's just hold it up. I know Memphis Vinyl Gym and the Misses will like, you should see this one. Reckless by Bryan Adams. Mid-80s, good just pop rock. Killer. Honestly, if you crank the stereo up loud enough, it's going to sound like some pretty heavy shit. But no, this one, seriously, Run to You is such a great song. Heaven, obviously. Somebody, Summer 69, Kids Wanna Rock. This is a real just good classic 80s album, and it was all over the place in 84, 85, but you see it, pick it up. It's a classic album from top to bottom. You're not going to be disappointed. If you just want something to listen to that's going to be really catchy, and just a good driving album, definitely a good one to get. Alright, this one, for anybody that was around in the early 80s, this album was everywhere. I know my dad talked about it too. High Infidelity by REO Speedwagon. Definitely a favorite of mine. Another one I grew up on. Don't Let 'Em Go, Keep on Loving You, Follow My Heart, Take It on the Run, Tough Guys, Out of Season. This is a really cool album. I actually paid $3 for this copy because it's still in the shrink, and it's pretty much a mint vinyl copy, which I sought this one out for a while, so I picked this up a few years ago. But anyway, good classic, rockin' album. REO Speedwagon's breakthrough into the mainstream, like full-on breakthrough. No minor hits, we're doing okay. We're co-headlining, we're sort of selling out. Now it's like, no, we're selling millions of albums and touring incessantly. So, really good album. Alright, this one, Jesus Christ, another one you probably saw if you were around in the early 80s. Toto 4. Give Me All the Shit You Want. This is a really good solid album by, really great studio musicians. anybody that's a drummer out there, you all know about Jeff Porcaro, and I'm definitely a huge fan. I may be, a hard rock, metal drummer, and my influences are more based in prog and, metal drummers and stuff like that, but, ooh, man, I really learned and cut my teeth learning how to play like Rosanna in Africa, so, still love to play those songs, and you know what? Classic. I'm saying it about every one. They're all classics. And the last one I'm going to show, this one, out of his catalog, this is the one I see the most. And not my favorite, but I wanted to show the one that I see the most in my area. 52nd Street by Billy Joel. It's got Big Shot, Honesty, My Life. It's a good, solid album. I see a lot of copies of The Stranger and Songs in the Attic. Excuse me. And Turnstiles occasionally, but this one I see the most. If I had a favorite, it'd be a tie between Stranger and Glass Houses. Glass Houses kind of wins a little bit more for sentimental value, just because I listened to that a lot when I was a kid. But if you want to start your Billy Joel collection and you're a bargain bin shopper, you see 52nd Street, don't hesitate. Find yourself a good copy, pick it up. So yeah, those are ones that I kind of generally see. I could go on, and pick a top 20 or top 30 like Dwayne did, Yeah. Hope you enjoyed those. Sorry, it's a little boring. I'm really, really tired, but I wanted to get a post out and response up for everyone to kind of see where I'm kind of coming from. Don't know if anybody else has gotten any put up any responses from the Midwest, but I want to put my 2 cents in there. Alright, thank you for watching. Keep you posted with another update hopefully soon. We'll see. I'm gonna go do some hunting this weekend, and I'm also going out to Chicago next week, so hopefully I find some really cool stuff. So you guys take care, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.